How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we have a new knife to check out coming in from Artisan Cutlery. A big thank you to them for sending this in. The knife is actually available and I will have it linked down below in the description. If you're new to the channel here and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos. And as always, let us know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. And I say actually because when this knife first dropped, this thing was very popular, and I am talking about the Crusoe, the Artisan Cutlery Crusoe, and this is a Nick Rogers design. Look at this thing. We have their sand polished S90V. They're calling this a clip point. We have a flat that rolls into this nice long top swedge. Kind of gives it a ramp effect there. We have these nice large thumb studs. They have stepping on them and they feel very good. The detent is very not too strong. I would say it's right perfect for a thumb stud knife. Not something I typically expect. Usually they're a little bit lighter no matter who it is than I prefer. I like them a little strong, but this is perfect. Yeah, you can get under there with the nail, or you can just use the tip of your finger. Boom. The studs are done really nice. The stepping, the cone, how it's all done there. Nothing's going to fatigue the thumb or the finger, and that's something I really look for. Look at that nice fine jimping there. I don't believe that is meant to be a front flipper. I think that's just the design of the knife. Could we front flip it? I think we can. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you know. I don't think it don't appear to be because of how low it is. It's just, I think, the design of the knife. But let me know if I'm wrong down in the comments there. Plenty of access to that lock bar. We have a nice large chamfer and then tons of access with a chamfer on that lock bar. I would have loved to have seen some fine jimping on that chamfer there of the lock bar. It just adds a little bit more taste and a little bit more premium feel to the knife. I think it feels better, looks better. So that's something I'd like to see, a little critique if I can there. We have open construction here with just one standoff on the bottom. Tons of internal milling on those steel liners. You can see them big circular pockets in there. Those are for weight relief. And then we do have some diamond texturing here on the titanium handles. And then it looks like it is going to be a reversible clip there for lefties. So we have a milled tie clip that's going to carry pretty deep. We'll check that. And it will be left-hand friendly as well. So that'll be a nice touch for the lefties out there that don't get a whole lot of love. So let's get a measurement on this thing and see what kind of size we're dealing with here. So we're looking at about 8 5/16 strong, I would say. About 3 1/4 of cutting edge, which is nice and solid. And then 3 1/2 inches of total blade. So we'll bring out our normal group of hoodlums here. We got the Benchmade bug out up top, Kaiser drop bear on the bottom, and they are average common size that most people are going to look at. You can see the Crusoe here. It's a little bit larger than both of those. So we'll step it up a notch, and we got a couple of bigger hoodlums here. We got the full-size Militaw from Kaiser up top, and the full-size Vostede Raccoon down here on the bottom. And it's even larger than both of those as well. And two more for fun. We got the off-grid knives, Scorpion V3 up top in Magna Cut, and then the very large CJRB frac in its budget form there. And it's going to be right in line with that new off-grid Scorpion V3, which is a little bit larger than the V2. But just a touch smaller than the frac, and that is quite a large folder. So we'll go ahead and take a look and see what this looks like in the pocket. You can tell handling this knife that it's a robust feeling knife. It's going to carry and look nice in the pocket there. You'll have a little bit poking out, typical milled clip, and that's how they operate. We are looking at a single Torx, but you can see here on the other side that it's recessed nice and deep into the scale. So that single Torx is going to hold it down, and then, you're not going to shear that titanium off unless you're doing something really crazy. So in this case, I like the single Torx. That's going to work well and look well. That's the way it's done right there. Could put a filler tab here, but the way this is done, it looks, you could have one there, but I can see not having it, so don't really bother me a whole lot that there's not a filler tab on this one. And usually it does, but not in this case. It's going to look good in the pocket, and then pretty good retention on that clip as well. Had some nice drag on the way out. Yeah, that's got some good tension. It's not too much, but seems to be pretty good. It might be in some pants. If you're wearing thicker seam pants or something like that, I could definitely see that being a little bit tighter on those. That'll be yet to be determined there. Good lock up there. We're going to check the weight here and see what this thing's coming in at. I mean, we got some nice slabs of tie, nice slab of steel with the blade here. It don't feel overly heavy. Boy, I don't know. Let's go like 4, 6. 5-1. Whew. I better stop guessing. 5-1. There was a point in time where I was just nailing them left and right, and now I can't hit nothing. 5-1. Okay. I was thinking 5, and I was like, well, that's probably a little too heavy. But it feels good. Some people, that might be a little too heavy. I think that's about perfect. 4 to 5. That's when you start feeling like, okay, I got something decent in my hands here, something that feels good in the hand. That's me personally, though, of course. Let's go ahead and see what kind of edge they put on this S90V. At this point, when I saw this show up, I'm excited, like overly excited to get Artisan Cutleries now, just because all year they have been putting out some beautiful designs, from the Wizard to the Kami or Cami, however you want to say that, the Crusoe. There's been so many on both sides of the coin, and this is just another really nice design. Comfortable. You have this nice area here where you can kind of cheat up. You want, depending on what you're doing, you could use that area up here. Wouldn't want to go crazy just because we have that corner of the edge there, but you could use that for some lighter duty stuff where you need more control. And then you can definitely use that to kind of cheat up on the tip there if you need to use that point or that tip, which you can do on this knife. It's nice and low for a clip point blade, as they call it there. So let's take a look at the lockup and centering here. We are nicely centered up. Nice healthy blade stock there. It's just a robust looking and feeling knife. We have good lockup there, and it looks like it has really good geometry in there. I mean, you can tell it just looks like a good fit in there. We're going to check that here in a moment. And another thing, a nice design touch, and it makes this area look weird for a change, but the relief is on the inside, which I really prefer. This right here is a lock bar relief cutout for your lock bar, and typically they're on the other side, and that's not a bad thing per se. Sometimes it can be, but I think, with most knives, and I'm not picking on this knife at all, it doesn't affect the Scorpion, I love it, but just as an example, there's the relief cut on the outside, and there you can see it on the inside. It just keeps this side cleaner, so it looks different for a change, but it looks good, it looks clean. Good access to that lock bar. This thing has nice smooth closing action. Good detent. I mean, really strong detent. And then when you move this lock bar over, you can tell this is, a hefty bugger. It almost feels like, I don't know, it almost feels like you're unlocking a more robust USA made titanium frame lock. That's what I'm feeling out of this thing right here. So pretty cool for the Crusoe. I think these come in at $2 or under 200 bucks in this form here, which for what you're getting out of the knife, that's a damn good deal. Because there's many things that, it's not as simple as just saying it's S90 and titanium. There's quite a bit more that, goes into certain things. And this is a good example as to why it's not 150. You have the extra touch on the blade with the sand polish, which is a polish that Artisan does that's kind of a step above just a normal satin finish. So you have that. You have the lock bar relief cut on the inside. That might take some extra machining there. Just careful things. The texturing that's been done, it looks and feels great. It does actually provide some grippage too. So just little details and little things that go into the knife that just make it a little bit more, than say a knife in the same materials at 150 that you might not get. I like this thing quite a bit. I like S90. It's one of my favorite all-time steels. I love that sand polish. Let's see. I don't think we're going to have any trouble out of this thing. We'll start with a couple taps. It sounds good. Right off the get-go, it sounds good. Believe it or not, I actually closed my eyes when I hit the board to listen. Very good. It sounds rock solid. Very good. We'll do a more in-depth look after the unboxing here into the Crusoe and have some actual final thoughts. This is just an unboxing and first impressions. And, right off the first impressions here, I can see why this knife was and is so popular. Great shape, great size. Materials are on point. Fit and finish is on point. 200 bucks, it's a lot of money, but you're going to be getting what you pay for in this case. You're going to be getting some really good stuff. I think the value is actually, I think this knife could cost much more than it does. 250, even maybe a little bit beyond that. I could easily see that, and it's not the case, which is really nice. We didn't talk about the sharpening choil. That looks good to me. Could be a little better, but I think you got quite a few sharpenings in there till you run into an issue with that. Could be a little better, I think. But, man, really, really nice. Very minimal nitpicks for me on the Crusoe. You'll have to let me know. What do you think of the Crusoe here? And what do you think of what Artisan's been doing lately with some of these newer releases? I think they are just the trend-setting company of the year at this point going into 2025. A lot of companies are going to spend 2025, I think, trying to catch up to Artisan if they keep this up and what they're doing. Offering a super steel with plastic handles for under 100 bucks, offering premium handles and budget steels for under 100, giving us an equivalent of S35 and micarta for under 100. I mean, they are just offering for $200 stuff like this. It's going to be an awesome, interesting, and exciting year, in my opinion. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push this video to more people, and I really appreciate it. If you're new here, I release daily videos just like this. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I release new content. I'll put a couple of new videos up on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.